Hello, everyone. This is Chala Dinkoy, CEO and founder of The Repositioning Expert. I can't tell if this is my hair or if it's a shadow, but welcome to another edition of the Tuesday Tea Time with Chala. Last week, we were too busy doing the actual live masterclass. It went so well. Thank you for showing up if you did, and thank you for watching the replays if you did. We are going to talk about what happens after the sale. So last week's masterclass was called Never Ask for the Sale. And we're now going to talk about how to actually, what to do after the first initial sales meeting, that when you get that sales meeting, you do all the things that I taught you in the masterclass and you get that sales meeting, and then you have to follow up on the next. Okay, so let me take a sip of my trusty old protein. Oh, it's a bit hot. I'm gonna do it again. Oh, that went down really hot. Okay, I guess I just prepared it too fast. I drank it too fast. Okay, so 44% of sales reps quit after the first call, after the first meeting, and after the first attempt. And there's something like 98% in one study that I looked at that B2B prospects are saying that they wouldn't have bought if it wasn't for a follow-up. So I wanted to talk about this, idea of follow-up, especially in the B2B world. I've talked about it before. I think it's really important. A lot of people don't know how to do it, don't do it, are too busy to do it, or too scared to do it, or they just simply don't have a strategy to do it. In fact, their company doesn't have a strategy to do it. So I wanted to give you some ideas on, what you can do. And then I have some really good ideas on some door openers that could be like the next step to your follow-up. I mean, they could be just the initial door opener, or it could be just your, another stage in your follow-up. So some of the things that I've sent and that my clients have sent and that I've gotten when I worked in the corporate world were more and more now the personalized video messages. A lot of my clients, I'm encouraging them to use Loom, which is like, I think it's a freemium, so you can get a couple of videos for free. And what it does is it gives you a URL, then you record it, on your computer, and it gives you a URL, then you paste into your email. And they don't, it doesn't store the video in YouTube or anything like that. You don't have to upload it. So that's a really easy, seamless way to do it. I've talked about Loom for, I think, like 5 years. Another way we do it is LinkedIn DMs. You can actually put the Loom into the LinkedIn DM, or in LinkedIn, you can actually, video yourself right in the actual app. Another way that we reach out through personalized messaging is through social media @mentions. So you can do a public, outreach and say, @John Smith trying to reach you, or I had you in mind when I thought of this, or I thought about you when I saw this, somehow mentioning them in the app, because of course they get notified when they're mentioned. Okay. So those are some of the ways that we do follow up. Another way is we send them, of course, this is an old one, but a oldie but a goodie, sending industry news and insights. In fact, there's a feature on the Sales Navigator that allows you to track, their competitors, their industry, and you could literally automate all that stuff. Now with AI, it's super, super simple. But again, if you like the personal touch, if you like the personal aspect of it, do it the way you know how to do it, the way what your brand is, and then you'll be the person who's providing them a lot of value. Number 3 is customer success stories. Like I like to edit them. Like I have people, God bless them, I have clients who come in and do lives with me who are like live testimonials, and then like I repurpose them into edited video format, and I push it out through all my social media as well as all my newsletters. But I also use it in my LinkedIn profile, and I use it on my website. So there's no reason why I wouldn't be able to send it to a client. In fact, I do send it to clients as a follow-up when they're thinking, or prospects who are thinking of working with me. You can, make sure that they're in the same industry and the same pain. Those really play well. People want to see people like themselves who have overcome their industry challenges or their specific problem challenges. Another way you could do a follow-up is to send an interactive demo, an assessment. Another thing is a webinar. You could send a webinar on a USB stick. You can invite them to a live webinar as a follow-up. You can do a webinar just on their problem, just by themselves, and invite them just to have a one-on-one follow-up webinar to give them more value around some of the pain points that they expressed in the first meeting. Another way that you can follow up is through sending them like just social proof of how well you do your job through testimonials. We talked about reviews, any reviews you've gotten or any endorsements you've gotten. And of course, this one's a really great one, a time limited offer. If they're looking at, I mean, it works less well in a service oriented, but if there's like products, you can have a time limited offer. I suppose you could do it with services too, but in terms of like when I usually work with consultants, so there's less of an opportunity, but you could be launching a promotion. You could say that you're launching a promotion. It could be an event. It could be an opening. It could be something that gives them an urgency on a date to move forward, to be able to contact you or to have contact with you again after the initial excitement of the first contact or meeting dies, or after the fifth one dies. I mean, these are all follow-up steps. And what I always tell you is have a follow-up sequence and a cadence with a full plan. I mean, my clients and I, we plan, okay, what are you going to do on the first follow-up, second follow-up? And this is particularly with clients who are hitting large corporate, large accounts. It takes months and months to land just one meeting, but this is how we make sure that we're in front of them over and over again, because you can be sure that a high-level director or a VP is not going to be at your beck and call at the first time you try to reach out to them. No matter how amazing your outreach, you still are going to have to do some of these things that I'm telling you. Okay, so some unique door openers that we're using with clients and that I've researched is, I like a puzzle. So you know how you put together a puzzle, and it's the message could be, let's put the puzzle pieces together, and the actual messages on each puzzle could be a different product or service or a different part of their pain, so that that you're healing, so that when you put together the puzzle, it's a healthy something, right? And of course, with the call to action, the CTA for every single one of these door openers or every single one of these follow-ups is, let's get together and finish discussing what we started. Let's get together and get more into this, talk more about this, work toward a solution together. The second door opener idea is a custom fortune cookie in a branded box, and the messages of each fortune would be some form of education or a tip about their pain. I really like this idea, actually. I wish I'd thought of it for a trade show that I'm going to, but I have no idea. I guess there's a way to ship them somehow without breaking, but I don't know. I really like that idea, is to give them a fortune cookie, because I'll be at a trade show in 2 weeks in Denver. So if all the messages are giving them tips about their pitch and their sales and everything I do here as a content, I really like that idea. Plantable seeds kit. I like this idea too. The message would be, let's grow your business together. And each of the instructions for how to grow the seeds would mirror your process and methodology of how to grow their business. So that's another really cute idea. Now, something you'll notice is that I'm just not sending tchotchkes for the hell of it. I want each of them to have a strategic meaning and dial up to what you're solving for them. And it always has to be strategic, right? Please don't forget that. Okay, so here's a miniature treasure chest idea. And, the messages unlock opportunities. And again, inside or around it or somewhere is a tip sheet around the problem that they're struggling with that gives them concrete solutions. And not specifically for them. And you could do specifically for them, but you don't want to give away the actual, you don't want to give them what you're going to be selling them. You can give them top lines of solutions, but you don't want to actually educate them. You don't want to produce content that actually does the whole job of educating them around the problem they have, because otherwise, why would they hire you, right? This miniature idea we actually did with a transportation company whose big differentiator was safety. So we were looking at producing tiny little safety kits that you keep in the car, but the little miniature ones, like toy ones, and those would be the mailers and the door openers to get a meeting. And then the last one is well, there's actually two. One is a custom Lego set where, the messages on the Lego are little pieces of tips around the pain, or pieces of how your methodology or your products would help their pain. Again, it has to dial up to something that adds to, let's build something together. And then lastly is something that my clients actually did. The Jones PR in Oklahoma did a customized comic book. And what they did was like they actually did a magazine, but the comic book ideas are also been done very successfully. I actually presented, and it was done by a digital agency. I think it was called Gum Gum, and they featured the CEO as one of the superheroes of the prospect that they were trying to get. And they actually got the account. They got the meeting and they got the account. So the comic book actually, gives the messaging in a playful, creative way. And it talks about what are the problems, what are the solutions, and, who are the players. So there are some really great follow-up ideas, you guys, even if you just have an idea from listening to this, and just follow up. And the follow up isn't just, hey, I'm just following up about our conversation. Like, please don't do that. Be creative, be solution oriented, be strategic, and don't forget to do it, basically. I hope that helps. I am going to be away for the next 2 weeks. I'll be at conferences traveling, and I will see the lay of the land to see if I can grab a spot to do this again next week. But if not, I will see you in 2 Tuesdays. Take care.